This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers podcast
With Tony Bruschi.
The stand your ground defense isn't just like there and you can use it carte blanche however you want, and then it's like, oh, stand your ground must be true, must be good. Sometimes they do take a look at that and they say, even in Florida, they'll say, yeah, maybe not quite, 9 out of 10 times you do whatever you want. But every once in a while, they do a little audit of that to make sure that this is completely legit. Gale Deltoro, who is 32, faced a judicial setback as he attempted to argue self-defense under Florida's stand your ground law. It was dismissed. Now, the case revolves around the shooting of his mother, Gale Deltoro, who was 60, during a confrontation that erupted after a birthday celebration that turned fatal. The proceedings unfolded in a recent hearing where Deltoro sought the dismissal of manslaughter charges against him. The incident, which occurred on December 14, 2019, saw tensions escalate between Deltoro and his father following a celebration marking the Deltoro's 28th birthday. Deltoro recounted in court how the altercation unfolded. He raised his fist at me like he was going to punch me, Deltoro testified, referencing his father. He had me pushed against a wall. I saw his hand go into his pocket. I pretty much knew what he was going for. Despite Deltoro's claims, the presiding judge rejected the self-defense argument and ordered the case to proceed to a trial before a jury. The tragic incident transpired in the Deltoro family's residence in Margate, as detailed in a complaint in the affidavit. Allegedly, the conflict originated during the car ride home after the celebratory outing, where Deltoro purportedly struck his father. Upon arriving home, the altercation intensified, leading to a physical confrontation. As per the affidavit, the situation escalated to the point where Deltoro's father pinned him against a concrete wall. In the ensuing struggle, Deltoro, who was carrying a concealed firearm without a permit, attempted to retrieve the weapon. Tragically, during the altercation, the firearm discharged, fatally striking Deltoro. As a result of being pinned into the wall, the defendant's glasses fell off his face, leaving him unable to see. The affidavit said the defendant, who was unlawfully carrying a concealed 9mm Glock handgun and a non-retention holster inside his right waistband, attempted to retrieve the firearm. During the physical altercation, the victim intervened between the two and was able to separate them. Once the defendant and his father separated, the document said the defendant produced the firearm, pointed in the direction of the victim, and discharged a single round. The bullet hit Deltoro in the face, and she died, police said. Authorities disclosed that Deltoro Jr. admitted to carrying the concealed firearm without a permit and acknowledged being aggravated during the altercation. However, he claimed the discharge was unintentional, citing impaired vision due to his glasses falling off during the fight. Authorities deemed Deltoro's actions as a reckless disregard for human life and safety, emphasizing the gravity of the situation. Yeah.
There's so much. So here they are just out celebrating his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
It ends up like this. Obviously, I'm going to guess at least dad and son were drunk, or one or the other was.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't have gone this far off the rails. But it doesn't make any sense because he's saying, well, I got pushed up against a wall. My glasses came off. But then somehow he saw his dad was reaching in his pocket, and he knew his dad carried a gun. So then he shot, but obviously couldn't see what he was shooting because he didn't have his glasses on, and then kills his mother. And then you're saying, well, it was a stand your ground thing. But the dad, I don't even think was armed.
Yeah.
Because they said, I read someplace, they didn't find a gun on the scene, another gun.
This is another one where you look at it and go, these people are going to end up in prison at some point in time for something horrible. And this happens to be the one that got them because they're reckless as shit. They're idiots. They don't understand, anything as far as regard for human life or the dangers of what they could cause by their actions. And they just do it. So, if it wasn't this, somebody else would have gotten killed at some point in time.
Because he's a 28-year-old guy. If his mom's 60, I'm going to guess his dad's about the same age.
Yeah.
Gets into that kind of altercation with a 60-year-old.
Yeah.
That's not going to be good. And
no.
then he accidentally shoots his mom. I don't think he meant to at all.
Yeah.
But how do you even say it was stand your ground? I accidentally shot my mom. I meant to kill my dad. That makes no sense to me.
If he had shot the dad, would that be a stand your ground argument?
maybe, but it's like, but my glasses fell off, so whoops, couldn't see who I was shooting.
Yeah.
Which is very reckless. And to me, if I killed my mom in a situation like that, I would be, you know what, lock me up. I'd kill my mother. I think it would be really hard to live with yourself.
Yeah.
Especially, they must have had pretty good relationship. They were going out to celebrate his birthday.
I'm going to guess this is going to end in not a very stiff charge at the end of the day. Well,
I'm going to watch this one. I am very curious to see what happens to him.
It's going to look it's going to be like more of an accidental shooting. He'll probably get 10 to 15 years, and then he'll get out and then, ruin someone else's life because that's what people like this do. They're idiots.
I'm glad they didn't let him use the stand your ground defense.
I am too.
Because I don't think that's what I have questioned that being used successfully in other cases in Florida. And not saying that there's never a reason for stand your ground. I think there are reasons for that. And I think there are times where that is a good, solid defense.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think there was alcohol involved. I think there's anger issues here. And he drew his gun to shoot his dad.
Yeah. I agree.
I think it's horrific.
It's bad decision making at its absolute finest.
Want to listen ad-free? Want advance access to all of our interviews before anyone else?
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
You get every episode commercial-free.
So you can binge on true crime
until you can binge no more.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts now, or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast next.